that, I'd like to आपके साथ गाने का एक सेशन हो जाए. हर घड़ी बदल रही है रूप जिंदगी, शाम है कभी कभी है धूप जिंदगी, हर पल यहाँ जी भर जियो जो है समा कहो न हो. The appropriate thing. I'm a radiologist. Went to a medical school. Completed medicine in 1990. I started working with the casualty. In the medical thing, Usmania, we used to have two units, MM1, MM2. I used to observe what things are doing, these people are doing. In one unit, the patients, they used to come, they get discharged, and they used to come back again. There's a kind of we keep them in the kind of thing, exit door, revolving door. The other set of patients, other doctor, hardly there was good things. What I realized that time when I was a house surgeon, that this old man was giving him good vitamin C, oral tablets and all that while giving a discharge sheet. And that was I thought there is something difference is there, because all the things are the same thing. 1990 I completed thing, I went across to radiology and started working as a radiologist. And yes, there was some kind of reasons. My son was given a diagnosis of autism way back in 2000. I never realized what was autism, because I thought it must be some ENT condition. I thought there must be some hearing problem. So I went to a audiologist, went to a ENT surgeon. They said to do a Vera test and all that, everything. Really? But whatever is it, I started working from one-to-one. Then I realized that there are some things as such which I'd like to share you. And I'll be in this talk, I'll be talking about some brief about what exactly autism is that and from where this autism is coming. And second one, I'd like to tell you how hyperbaric oxygen can be a good remedy for that. And this is the Stephanie Selef, who has worked extensively. She works mostly on glyphosate, and she says this is going to increase as such. I had just started with my thing. This was my first child. I started working on that, and later I was able to meet Lenny, Hassan Patel, and all that. And I started working on my own thing with just a good instinct that I had only one thing to reason is the child was till the first year. Everything was quite normal. Everyone used to tell that, he's a chubby child, very smart child and all that. After 1 to 1.5 years, suddenly there was a transition and that child was lost. Lost in the sense, he never used to look at you when you call back, you tell him, Bilan, he never used to look back at you. He used to always do some clapping. He used to be always hyper, watching the TV. So these are the three cardinal signs of autism which as a medical professional, being from a very good medical background, from a family of medical doctors, I missed out the diagnosis of autism. I thought there must be some problem as such. There are three cardinal features. Now anyone in the kind of thing, working in a social group, schools and all that, they also pick up. The child doesn't talk by the age of 3, he doesn't bite out, and you call him several times, he never bothers to look at you. These three things can make a diagnosis of autism. My son is now, height is, he's 23 plus. Lenny and all that has seen him. But somewhere, I feel there is a big thing as such. And all these years, I have been working on that particular stuff. Still, I feel there's not enough things we are able to provide to these autistic kids. Assumption of autism is a development disorder. That's why at this song, Har Gadi Badal Rahi Hai, the thing, there is one more song here. I'm a slightly Bollywood guy. Chodo kal ki baatein. Assumption of autism that autism is only psychogenic. It's a developmental disorder and nothing can be done. It is genetic, it's predetermined. अरे ये तो आपके family में होगा, किसी को होगा. That is the reason you got into that, right? So this is a very defeating kind of stuff. एंड तो छोड़ो कल की बात है, कल की बात पुरानी, नए दौर से लिखेंगे मिलकर नई कहानी कमल काल के साथ, डॉक्टर सुधा के लेवा के साथ, डॉक्टर लेडी के साथ. We had been started writing this one 10-12 years back. We met and we started a group, and it is thriving. Other doctors are ये क्या कर रहा है बोल के देख रहे हैं बस. Okay. This developmental disorder, आज भी everyone who gets diagnosed of autism by any pediatrician, regular pediatrician, the first thing they write down is go to a developmental. Just one particular thing, this guy needs some training and all that. I had gone through that. I said, I have seen, I have gone to the best Catherine Morris. She gave me a book of autism, developmental, this one. She told me you have to work for 28 or 32 hours per week with this child to see that he comes up with that. I was a radiologist working for 4 or 5 hospitals at that time. 2 घंटे निकालना मुश्किल होता था, वाइफ में हस्बैंड में पंगा रहता था, टाइम दे देता है. But whatever is it, I felt that this was a very slow kind of thing. I have seen people working with developmental thing as speech therapists, OTs and all that. It takes years. It takes 5 years, 6 years to come up with that. We are trying to work it out in a different kind of mode, from genetic to epigenetic. Everyone was talking about epigenetics. Yeah, he has given a big overview of what is epigenetics and all that. Dr. Bimal also was talking about that. Yes, definitely. We need to look at what is the exact kind of thing as such. Yeah, I don't want to get into that particular debate as such. Autism is genetic or environmental. What I believe is that we all have got some gene expressions. We have some genetic markers are always there. That doesn't mean that every child should get a autism or something like that. Unless there is epigenetic influence doesn't happen, this can't be triggered off. There is a phenomenal rise of autism. It is related to the environmental kind of stuff. I'll be talking about few things. There are some people have worked on air pollution, low vitamin D in the mothers, pesticides. There is a thing called flame retardants. Flame retardants are brominated compounds. Brominated compounds, it is also one of the big things as such. Even someone has done in last Defeat Autism Now conference. They were talking about we now in India, we started using mattress a lot. We don't use that cotton mattress anymore. So this mattress, which is a synthetic Kurlon or whatever you see on the things, they do have something like flame retardants. They do have brominated fluorocarbons. That causes a problem. Antimicrobials in the soaps. Antimicrobials in the soap is now everyone starts washing and all that. So this is one thing. Antimicrobials in soap. There is a thing called triclosan. The triclosan in soap can affect your thyroid. And
it's in the paste also.
It's in the paste also, ma'am. Correct. This is triclosan is a big kind of thing, and we need to go against that ad to keep that zero bacteria. You need good bacteria in the mouth also. The third is heavy metals is a big thing, and heavy metals are a contentious thing. It's there in the vaccines, and people already label me as an anti-vaccinist. Though I believe that some vaccines has to be given, but not the way as such. And I will differ with Dr. Sir. He giving genetic age group people that flu vaccine. We are making it very easy for them to get into Alzheimer's. It has got mercury in that, sir. So Sanjeev, nothing personal against you. So this heavy metals we had worked a lot. We picked up ADHD kits, we picked up autism kits, we tried to work on a blood test as such. We tried blood test, we may or may not get something, but lead was always high in Indian population. It was around more than 40 to 50 micrograms per deciliter, and the present standards are in US they say 0 to 5 was the last one. Now they say they should not be lead in the body at all. So, but either सब कुछ चलता है. Ultrasound exposure, being a radiologist, I became inquisitive. I do a lot of ultrasounds to my wife to check out whether he has thing. But still the thing is not out. Ultrasound can cause some vacuolation. And recently we have a 3D and 4D ultrasound was. 3D and 4D ultrasound, it requires there's a big set called Volusol, and you have to keep that probe for at least 30 minutes, for 40 minutes. And that is one of the things which you should not do more than 2 or 3 times during the pregnancy. And people are not aware about this. And whatever we did ultrasounds, we used to do for hardly 2 or 3 minutes because we used to have 20 people waiting in 1 hour. So we used to do it very fast and move that asset. But this ultrasound exposure also is an issue. And other things like you have maternal problems, maternal subclinical hypothyroidism and all that is a major thing as such. Children who were on antibiotics and the mothers who were given dexamethasone during the preterm actually, before the delivery, in case of rupture of membranes and all that, they have high risk thing as such. And this is again one to do with the prenatal vitamins and 1-carbon metabolism gene variants. The mothers who had the proper folate and B12 supplementation, they never had this problem. But now some people are telling that giving too much of folate is also the issue as such. Folate added to water and all that is a big issue. We feel that somehow I felt this can't be a hardwired thing as such, because the way this thing has been put across people, "Arey, bachcha to pagal hai," okay? The way that is being projected. And I can always tell you there are a lot of things we can reverse in that as such. There are a lot of correctable things out there. And because this is see, we were talking about all these vaccinations, toxicity, antibiotics, yeast overgrowth. I can always tell you this particular thing taught me a big thing. I had never, during my MBBS days and all that, as a physician's family also, I never thought of what is yeast and things and all that. We used to give lots of antibiotics when we became house surgeons. We used to give it to antibiotics and B-complex to our family members first. And we never bothered post-antibiotic to give something like good probiotics and all. And this is a yeast overgrowth. This all the important thing with the autism is basically everything counts here. See, there is a thing called yeast toxins. You have got undermethylated neurotransmitters. You have a brain inflammation. Though it is it's not easily picked up on tests and all that. We have tested almost all autistic kids with HSCRP. All HSCRP is very low. And when we do a PET scan or something like that, that we know if there is some inflammation in the brain as such. So it's a big thing. When I was trying to work it out what I can do it. One of the parents told me, why don't we try a gluten-free, casein-free diet? And we discussed with our doctor, pediatric professor. He said, have you gone mad? Is it going to happen? I said, no, yeah, somewhere we have to start somewhere. And I was ready to put everything on that particular thing. My wife started weeping. She says, he takes only bread and milk. So it was a tough call as such. But somewhere we had to work on some tough things as such. The moment we stopped that milk and wheat, we could see a difference in Miller. He started looking at us back. He started working on things as such, and that's just small intervention. And then I said, let me go through the whole way. So I started interacting with some of the people who are working very good in things as such, and that's how my journey began. And now I'm so finicky. I don't want to take wheat for myself, and it has helped me. I somehow am now dairy free. I don't want to take that cup of the coffee where milk. I don't want to get into that. So, but somewhere I never had any health issues, but I felt I may be having some this or that. But all these things which I understood, I still feel I had taken a lot of antibiotics for my sinus, multiple chemical sensitivities, which I now know is MCS only. And all my professors, oh yeah, you take antibiotics. I took antibiotics all during my MBBS days. Before an exam, I used to take that Autriven and take that particular thing exam. So in that process, my GI system is absolutely gone. So now I still am trying to work it out. It's a big kind of thing, Pastor. Your GI is not proper, you cannot function properly. So this autism is a neuroendocrine disorder. Somewhere I started believing it because when I started cutting down on these foods, which causes some problems, cutting down sugar causes less hyperactivity. That was such a thing as such. Cutting down chocolates, cutting down on colas and all that, it make a big difference. So what is happening here? You have got a autonomic nervous system, you have got a intestines are the second brain. So try to cut down that particular stuff and it doesn't cause overstimulation of the brain as such. So autism is associated with, Dr. Millie has already showed what is oxidative stress and all that. It is basically oxidative stress. I felt autism is for me it was difficult because there are multiple systems are involved. You have got endocrines are involved, you have got GI system which is involved, you have immune system is involved, you have neuropsychiatric things as well. And over and above, you have to learn a lot of nutrition. And in our MBBS days, we didn't know what was nutrition at all here. Unless we knew only about carbohydrate, proteins and fat ratio, that's the only thing. And we used to think that that's the only thing. But somewhere, papad velne pade sir. So, coming to this particular thing, autism, we felt autism has multiple implications. The basic thing with autism happens is that your glutathione level goes down. I think there is one more thing I'll just show you. This glutathione decreased methylation activity occurs. All of these patients, they have a problem. The sulfation, methylation. The sulfation and methylation is the major process. And they are basically, they absorb. They are like sponges. They don't know how to excrete things as such. They don't sweat out. They don't have their excreting capacities and all that are weak. Hepatobiliary system doesn't work properly. So there are multiple things as such. And all of them, they have ongoing brain hypoperfusion. There were some 17 out of 19 PET scan studies shows there was low perfusion when compared to the control group. And this particular thing was picked up, and we did do some studies here in India and tried to do the SPECT scan and all that. But when I showed my SPECT scan thing to Dr. Fry, he said this is not compatible at all. The kind of quality work what we were not able to reproduce that kind of work here. And irrespective of things as such, he said there is a problem and started working on hyperbaric oxygen. Apart from giving diet, trying to do some detox, trying to build up immune system, not building up immune system is jigs basically, trying to work on the gut floras and all that. Then we started using hyperbaric oxygen, ozone therapy we started. Ozone already she has told as such. These are some of the papers which showed that autism. Now cases come to us, the parents did. This is again one of the tough practice where we were talking about cancer practice patients, they are coming. We want this particular therapy. Autistic kids